Hello and welcome. Today I'm going to tell you about the first round of the Escalation League that I'm in. This is my first real experience with 9th edition, and the first round is 2 games at 500 points. I am taking a patrol detachment that is led by Commander Farsight himself. His warlord trait lets him heroically intervene with the 6 inches. He is accompanied by a Cadre Fireblade with the relic, the Pure Tide Engram Neurotrip. Gives me a command point on a 6+ anytime me or an opponent uses a stratagem. We also have a Devilfish with 10 Fire Warriors, and lastly we have a Missile Broadside. My idea with this list was to kind of get out, control the board, and it's a bit fluffy because honestly Commander Farsight's not the best choice, but you can't run Enclaves without Farsight. At least I don't think you should. My first game was against Harlequins. I've only played against them a few times in 8th, and this is my first game of 9th. And it didn't go well. I wasn't really sure what to expect or what secondary to pick against them. I know they're fast, but I was not expecting how fast they actually are. I took Warlord, First Strike, and Engage in all fronts, and so not really knowing what to expect from them, I deployed very defensively. I deployed at the back of my deployment zone. My Cadre Fireblade and Fire Warriors were inside my Devilfish, and my Devilfish is blocking my Broadside and Farsight. He deployed also hidden as well. So he did roll off and he won it and he got to go first. He immediately blitzed his Warlord at me and got him basically very close. I think he got him within 7 inches of Farsight. And he moved all of his gunboats. I'm not sure what they're called. I don't know Harley Quinn unit names. But he had a gunboat and 2 transport ships full of troops. And he moved them all out. So his shooting phase, he was able to kill my Broadside with the lances. He bracketed my Devilfish, and then it went to the charge phase. He charged Farsight and killed him. It wasn't even, yeah. So at the beginning of my turn, I only had 2 options because all I had left was my Devilfish. I can disembark everything, go for his Warlord, and run the Devilfish to an objective, or I can just run the Devilfish. But either way, he's gonna table me. So I did that. I disembarked, killed his Warlord. It took everything. With the Marker Light and all of that, rerolling once to hit and wound because he was in the 6 inches and I am Farsight Enclaves. It still took all 10 Fire Warriors to kill his Warlord. So that's all I was able to do. His turn 2, he tabled me. That was it. Just completely annihilated me. The final score was 16 points, including my my painted army, to his 80-something points. It was bad. What did I learn? I learned Harlequins are very fast, and me and him sat and we talked about this afterwards, and this matchup was just bad. There was no way. I could have scored better. I could have deployed differently, but there was no way for me to really win this matchup. Even if I went first, there really wasn't much I could have done against his force, because it was rough. It was a rough one. The funny thing is he tabled his second opponent turn 2 as well. And he also almost maxed out his points. His other opponent didn't get any points at all. So he got his 10 points for painted army, and that was it. So my game 2 was a much better game. So I went up against Dark Angels, and I don't know the name of the Dark Angel units. I don't know that. This is my first time playing against them. I don't really know their names. But he had a squad of bikes. He had a land speeder, a squad of intercessors, and a captain, and he had a sniper scout squad as well. This game I took the same exact secondaries. I feel like they're a decent secondaries for me to do, and I feel like I can get his Warlord. If I don't see him I didn't see him really castling with this army, so that means I just had to shoot through his intercessors, which I was confident I could do. So this game I deployed much differently. What I did was I kept everything around Farsight so I could Moncaw, because that's always my first turn goal. But I left the Devilfish empty. I had my Fire Warriors on the objective with their Cadre Fireblade, and everything was still kind of in the area, so when we Moncaw, we can run. He deployed very defensively as well. He deployed everything in the back of his board, except his scouts, which he put really close to my front line. Close enough to where I can move Farsight and charge without even having to really worry about it. So I did that. I re-rolled off. I went first this game, which I was pretty stoked about. We Moncawed. I ran the Devilfish forward in front of the scouts. So in case I don't kill them, basically have to target the Devilfish instead of my Farsight. I mean, they could have moved around that, but I wasn't too worried at this point. I moved my broadside, got them in range of the scouts as well. Nothing else was in range. He deployed so far back, I couldn't reach anything. So we walked the Fire Warriors forward and the Cadre Fireblade forward, just so we're still on the objective, but we're a little bit closer to the enemy. And then we shot with my Devilfish, my Farsight, and my broadside. I couldn't kill the scouts through shooting, but luckily I made my charge and Farsight cleaned up business. So we took over the objective he was on. We got first strike, which is really important. Just so we're clear too, we were all playing on the very small board because it's only a 500 point game, so everything was really close together. So that helped me tremendously at this point because I took both objectives, I got first strike, and now everything he had was at the back of the board. His turn, he ran his bikes and his land speeder forward, took some pop shots at my Devilfish, and he bracketed it. That's all he did. He rolled really, really badly. Like, I felt really bad because in theory he probably could have killed my Devilfish, but he didn't. I think he barely bracketed it, and that was all of his shooting he could actually reach. So then he declared a charge with his bikes on my Devilfish, and he left my Devilfish on 1 wound. He didn't want to re-roll. I don't know why, because I feel like he could have killed it with a better roll, but he left the Devilfish on 1 wound, and that was it. So my turn 2, I disembarked my drones, left them on the objective, flew my Devilfish across, walked my Farsight forward to the land speeder so I can charge it. We walked everything forward, and then we shot everything except Farsight at the bikes. We shot it with a marker light, we oblique marker light. We got full complementary rolls on the bikes. They were in half range of my Fire Warriors, and we destroyed all the bikes. Then we shot Farsight at the land speeder, and we did it. You know, we hit both, wounded both, so it's 4 damage. So Farsight charged his land speeder, left it as on 1 wound. We almost killed it, and I did reroll, and I didn't get it. I rolled a 1 into a 1. So he's on 1 wound left. Now we have his Devilfish on 1 wound, and his land speeder on 1 wound, which is going to be very important in the next round. At this point, 15 points for holding two objectives and more than him because he only held 1. Got engaged because I have my Devilfish top left, my Fire Warriors bottom left, my broadside bottom right, and my drones top right. He didn't kill a unit his first turn, so that's another point for me. His turn, he made a really weird decision. He flew his land speeder back and parked it right next to my Devilfish, and I wasn't sure what he was doing with that. And then he shot my Devilfish with his land speeder, and my Devilfish blew up, which means he died and I died, which leaves him with only intercessors and a captain left. So that was pretty much game at that point. We both knew that was it. He got no secondaries. He took first strike, which he didn't get. He took Warlord, which he didn't get. And he took Raise the Banners, which he didn't get, because this whole time as well, he's been marching his intercessors forward, which was a very weird decision for me. I didn't quite get it. I asked him why, and he said he wanted to get them closer to the fight, which, okay. So now at this point, I have my full army. He has that. He didn't want to concede though, so okay, we can play it out. Turn 4 goes by. He's finally at this point, he's up in my face, but he's dead center of the board. So what I did with turn 4 was I walked Farsight behind his Warlord. I positioned everything to be in range. I shot down his intercessors, shot my broadside as Warlord, didn't kill it though. Shot the Warlord with Farsight, and that was the official tabling. At the end of the game, it was 25 because he held the back objective, because it was the mission where if you walk off it, you still own it. He held that back objective 3 turns, which gave him 15 points to his 10 for his army, so it was 25 to 70-ish something. That match was very weird. I think if he would have focused more on the secondary and primary objectives, it would have been a much different game. Instead, he ran everything at me, and he rolled really bad the first turn, which hurt him a lot. So in this Escalation League so far, I am 1 for 2. For the next 250 points, I'm bringing a Piranha for board control. I'm bringing another broadside with a Magma rare rifle, because I personally want to try it. I think he's an amazing model, and I own one, so let's just throw it out there. And a unit of 5 breachers. I'm leaving myself 40 points, so for the final round, I can bring a Riptide. That's my goal. But so far it's been really fun. I've really enjoyed 9th edition. The mission is very important. I really like playing this Farsight list so far. I'm a Death Guard player and I want to try something different. So that's it. How are you guys liking 9th edition? What would you have done against the Harlequins? Because I'm at a loss. And my opponent says there's no way I could have won. If you like this, or you enjoyed this, leave a like, consider subscribing. Have a great day.